sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 and 92.9 FM, 8 HD FM in Memphis. And, of course, good folks in Brownsville, 1520 AM, 95.3 FM, Jackson, Tennessee, on News Talk 101.5. And this is Leap Year Saturday. And what better to celebrate Leap Year and leap right in to one of our favorite shows of the year. It's the Ron Wong Special, where we talk Bassmaster Classic, and it's coming up March 6th through 8th. My close, Ron Wong. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Golly, you know what? I got up early this morning. So excited.
This is your life, Ron.
Well, you know, Larry, this is one of our favorite shows.
Oh yeah,
all year long, and especially for me because I fish.
Yes, you do. And you go to the Classic. Yes, you do. And we had a nice thing on Facebook from our good friend Brian Brasher.
Yeah.
About this show that we put together.
Absolutely.
And how we've done it for the X number of years that you and I
have no idea
been part of this team.
How long. And you know, I want to tell everybody before we really get started in this, a couple of things. One, go out to lroutdoors.com.
Yes.
To enter the contest. All you need to do is pick a winner, guess a weight.
And we're going to do that today. I've
well,
got the list.
Well, let's let our listeners go ahead and do that on lroutdoors.com.
And we're going to do it.
And all you need to do
Yes.
is to fill out an email with your name and who you think is going to win and how much is it going to take to win the 3-day tournament.
Yes.
And we may have multiple people
We've already got
with the same winning name, but we're going to go closest to the weight without going over.
And that's still.
And also,
March 5th at midnight is the deadline.
Right.
March 5th at midnight is the deadline. Okay? The tournament starts on the 6th.
Right, that's right.
So
that's
we're giving you time here, folks.
And also, starting on the 6th,
yes,
and maybe even the 7th,
yes,
at the very latest, there will be pictures being posted on lroutdoors.com of things that we'll be doing. We're going to be at Media Day the day before everything kicks off on the 6th.
Yes, you will.
And so we'll have some pictures up of
as soon as you can.
What's going on, as soon as we can get it over to our good webmaster guy Trebo.
Yes,
and he does a great job of getting that stuff on. So
I'm ready. I'm just so excited about this that this event at Lake Gunnersville. So
where they'll be fishing
out of Birmingham,
and all of the festivities will be going on in Birmingham at the convention center and arena there.
Lots of people in Memphis going to drive down.
I know a lot of them that'll be coming down. So
they're going to make that short drive that Ron makes.
About 3.5 hours is all it is, and that's at speed limit.
Well, we're going to kick it right off. We got a young man right on the line with us right now to kick off this show that will help us kind of usher it in, because how much excitement can it be when you're 22
You're a college student.
yeah.
And you're going to the Bassmaster
You're going to the
Classic
Bassmaster Classic
to fish against all of the elite pros.
And I did not know that Cody Huff was from Ava, Missouri.
Ava, Missouri. That's
And there's
right.
another angler from Ava, Missouri.
His name is Rick Klein.
Yes, that's
See,
right.
You
yeah.
thought you'd stump me,
I
wouldn't
thought
you?
I'd stump. I don't
no,
know. Maybe
wrong.
Cody,
You're talking to the wrong person here.
Cody may live in his house. I don't know, but
Cody probably has learned from you. He's learned very well too.
hey, Cody. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
All right. Does this get you excited when we start talking about this?
Oh, absolutely, man. I just rolled into Gunnersville myself, and I'm just itching to go.
You're getting ready to start practice for this tournament.
A lot of our guys
And
today.
Cody, you've been pretty hot on the college trail. You've done very, very well. So you're stoked up, and of course, you like to fish the Tennessee River. Going to Bethel, you spent a lot of time on the Tennessee River. How does this tournament set up for you, buddy?
Man, I think it sets up well. I really don't have any complaints. There's been a lot of college guys that have qualified and had to go fish the Classic on lakes they've never been to before.
Yeah.
I'm tickled that that's not the case. I had some memories on my phone pop up today of a couple great big bass, from last year. This exact same weekend on here. So that's pretty cool to see.
Well, I know that when I look at this and I saw the qualifiers, you're right there, number 27. In fact, there's two Codys in this tournament. One's from Beaverton, Oregon. That's Cody Holland, and Cody Huff from Ava, Missouri. How far apart can that be, to do that? But, Rod, I know you put together this show, and I'm glad we could kick it off with Cody because just describe, once you found out you were going to be in the Classic, what's it been like since then, and talk about how you're going to keep your nerves under control.
It's really kind of an undescribable feeling.
Yeah.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for a lot of people. I hope it's not for just a once in a lifetime deal for me, but it could be. So you got to treat this like it's your only opportunity. I'm just really excited. I'm trying not to get too excited because it's just like any other sport. If you get all excited and kind of let your nerves get the best of you, you don't make the best decisions. So I'm just kind of trying to relax and have a little fun out of it.
When I talked to you, I saw you at the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame dinner last fall.
Cool.
And we were talking about this, Cody, and, you're set up pretty well to do this. You couldn't do this without a lot of support. Talk about your support system.
Yeah.
To be able to go ahead and do this and, to have qualified for a year just to do this. But talk about your support system.
Yeah, man, I've been just super blessed when it comes to that. I've got an awesome family that's just totally behind me, every step of the way, and that's a big deal, And on top of that, I've got the pleasure of getting to work with some just awesome sponsors. I've got to work with Toyota, Carhartt, Nitro, Bass Pro Shops, Rapala, all these people that we just dream. You dream of. Before you're in the shoes you're in now, you look back and you're like, man, when you were a little kid, you just dreamed about being, on the Bass Pro team or Carhartt team. Yeah. And it's pretty cool getting to see some of that come true.
You have to work real hard, and to qualify is not easy.
No.
Through the college ranks. First you got to qualify for regional fish-offs and then everything else. How tough was that?
Yeah, that's it's a very, very stout task.
Yeah.
It's kind of a gauntlet, if you will, because you have to go to these regionals and place in the top so many percent. And once you go through all the work to do that, then you've got to worry about the national championship, and you got to be in the top 4 to get to go to that fish
right.
off. So,
and then you had to fish against your own teammate. As a matter of fact, the guy that fishes with you during the year, you had to fish against him and beat him to qualify, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't have to fish against my exact same partner I fished with, but I did have to fish against one of our teammates.
That's right.
Yeah, that we get to. We spend so much. As a team, we all spend so much time together. it's no fun when you got to fish one-on-one against young guys, but, whenever it's something as special as this opportunity, we both understand. It's just kind of cutthroat.
Well, you talked about earlier about we got a couple of minutes here. How important is that Bethel family with you, too? I mean, that's...
oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, I've got so many guys that are...
Bethel Nation.
Week,
Yeah, Bethel.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Mason has already sent me all these texts. Oh, great, Cody's going to be on the show. All these, you're just sharing this... all of McKenzie, I mean, so that's got to be a support level. You mentioned all those great sponsors, but, hey, man, you got fans here in Memphis. You got fans, a lot of young fans are supporting you. So that support representing Bethel is pretty important. And we really thank you for just taking these few minutes. Ron will be down there. Ron, look.
Cody, I'll see you there. I'll see you at Media Day. We're going to do a couple of interviews with you there, buddy, and we at Outdoors with Larry Ray want to wish you all the very best.
Yes, yeah.
And I'll see you there, buddy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All
Thank
right,
you, guys. I sure appreciate it.
Go get them, buddy, okay? We'll talk. We hope to talk to you down the road, okay? All right.
All righty, thanks.
All right. That's Cody Huff from Ava, Missouri. That kicks us off. Get rolling, turn up your volume wherever you are. Get your tackle out, hold your rod and reel in your hand, and
really, get ready to take a 3.5-hour drive out of the Memphis Mid-South area to Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to be exciting.
We're going to give you the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio program, too, as we come along here. We'll be right back, and guess what? We're going to talk to Mr. Menendez himself.
Yeah, and we'll keep that at fishing. I'm not going to ask him how he's doing with everything else he's
No, he's got too much going on. All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. As you can tell, my voice is better. My attitude's better. I am fired up. Okay, this is one of my favorite shows of the year. It's almost up there with the turkey show. And before I can even go on, Mark Copley has just broken all records from his house. I mean, he's coming in here. He's got his pants on backwards, his hat sideways. There he goes. It's almost, get that microphone on. You've done it. I understand you were on a conversation that this next guest was listening in as he was trying to get set up for this show.
Probably so.
A different Mark, all right?
Oh, yes, that Mark.
Yes, that Mark. He's known as that Mark. How about that?
That Mark.
Oh, man, he is the M&Ms of
I need my
classic
theme music now.
Oh, we'll get that later. We're just glad to have you here. I'm glad you got socks on. Yeah, got shoes, too.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
How is everyone?
Hey, we're trying to get a radio show here, all right? And we got one of our favorite guys on right now. We're kicking off this Bassmaster Classic preview. This guy, he knows a thing or two about going to the Classic, and he's also almost a regular on the show. We ought to let Wong pay him. But, anyway.
He's good with that.
Yeah, all right.
He's paying well.
Our wonderful friend from up Paducah, Kentucky way, Western Kentucky, and the man that's going to really kick this show off is Mark Menendez. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, guys. How are you all?
We're doing better now that Copley's here, so I was getting nervous trying to do it with Ron.
I didn't even get a ticket.
Oh, you did. You don't get a ticket when you come in here.
That I know of.
Oh, that you know of. You left your car running. Did you know that out there? The lights are still on. So,
well, it's still dark outside.
Mark Menendez, hey, buddy, I know this is I've been looking at this thing. You've been there. What, 5 times? Is this 5? Is that right?
This will be number 6.
Number 6,
and it's been a few years, and you should be excited.
You should be for a guy that
we are excited for you.
You know, when your birthday is 5/5, that's I'm just going to say when your age, but I'm going to just say that this guy is still competitive, still loves the sport. So tell us, Mark, about as you get ready to go to Guntersville, What's on your plate?
Well, I'm having all kinds of things. I put a brand new Motor Guide trolling motor on my boat, the new Tour Pro, the
okay.
10-point model.
Yeah.
I just tested that this week. Did some other modifications to my Skeeter boat. I've got a mound of tackle. I've got 770,000 Strike King 1.5 crankbait tied on, and I'm just really excited to be at the historic 50th Bassmaster Classic.
Yes, yeah.
And kind of a little known fact, Larry, that this means I have participated in a classic in each of the last 4 decades.
Wow. I did not.
You missed that, Larry.
Yeah, I missed that. I don't know why I didn't get
He started when he was 12.
Yeah, so I made my first one at Neely Henry or at Logan Martin in 1997, and I went to
I was there.
in
I was there. I was there in 97.
And you forgot Mark was there.
Yeah, well, I was too busy trying to learn Japanese from Amori and, talking.
Takahiro.
Yeah, Takahiro.
2010, now the 2020s, but I promise you, it's been a long road.
It has been, but you got to feel, there's a lot of whippersnappers in this thing, Mark.
There are a bunch of those little snotty-nosed kids that are absolutely fantastic anglers.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're better people. Most of these young kids that I've gotten to know over the last year in the Elite Series, they're better people than they are anglers.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic anglers.
Yeah,
So I'm really proud
really
to be
are.
competing against these kids and competing with these kids and becoming great friends with a lot of them. And it's going to be one hell of a show is what it's going to be here in a day or two.
And particularly in Guntersville. I mean.
The Pearl of the Tennessee River.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Does that even add to the enthusiasm? You don't have to haul that boat all that far. But at the
Guntersville is just such a historic place to fish.
Yeah.
It's the Tennessee River. I grew up on the Tennessee River. I've had some awfully good finishes on Guntersville, so I'm quite comfortable being there, and I'm only going to be fishing for 5-pounders. That's all I can tell you.
Well, you have all the lures you need to catch them. So
yes.
What's it going to take? You're the first man out of the chute here. We didn't ask the whippersnapper before you, Cody Huff, but give us the prediction.
Well, I tell you, it's all weather related. It was cold the last few mornings.
Yes. All right.
I see some warming coming.
Yes. Next week.
I think it's going to be enough warming to push a few fish further along in the pre-spawn ritual. So I'm thinking anglers can find some fish bunched up on one particular cast, and I'm going to go out there and say that it's going to take between 64 and 70 pounds to win the event.
Ooh, doggies!
I think you're right on. over the last several classics, it's only taken the low 50s to win.
Yeah.
But I think Mark's right on. Closer to 70 pounds.
Yeah. What about you?
I agree with you, Ron. And you know what it may be, Larry?
What?
It may not be that I have to go through 25 or 30 keepers a day. It may be that I'm only getting 6 to 8 bites a day.
Yes.
And that's fine with me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to make the most of every bite I get.
And Copley, what do you think about that?
I think that's a close because we've seen what the last time we were at Guntersville for the Classic, the weights were up there and it was still colder weather then.
Oh yeah, it was way
a lot colder than it is now, and I agree with Mark that Guntersville is the Pearl of Tennessee River chain right now. Not throwing any shade in any of the other lakes.
No. People want to see you guys catch fish. They want to see numbers. It's just like
they want to see
I like
fish.
Defense too in football, but a 2-0 game does not inspire me as much as.
I like offense.
I like offense, and that's.
Well, I can promise you, Larry, that I won't be throwing a tour grade jig head with a perfect plastic 6-inch finesse worm, shaky head fishing. That's not going to happen.
He's not going to Ned fish.
I'm going to have a big jig on there. I'm going to have a 3/4 ounce red-eyed shad. I'm going to have a thunder cricket on there.
I knew you have that thunder cricket. Yeah.
When I get a bite,
yes.
he's going to be 3-4 inches between the eyes.
So,
and that's the attitude I'm taking in this tournament.
So the key is you got to get them. I mean, you don't like to talk about losing fish, but this is going to be a big fish battle, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, what happens along the Elite Series in a year's time, if you lose a specific fish or two,
yes,
that costs you a lot of points to make the Classic and make money and position in that particular event. And this tournament it's even more critical, because if you're only getting 5 to 8 to 9 bites an event a day, you've got to maximize and not let anything slip through your fingertips.
Well, you know the beauty of this of the Classic too is that these guys that are here, they're getting paid. So this kind of allows them to swing for the fences too. They don't have to play the points game, and they're going to look for big fish, because big fish are what's going to win this.
Well, let me tell you, on this show today, Mark's kicking it off. We have 5 guys on this show today who have won a combined $5.1 million in fishing.
I've spent that much.
Yeah, $1. You get that.
I've never earned that much, but I've definitely spent that much.
And I know for you, Mark, it's been a wonderful career. You and the Strike King family. How long?
Well, I came on in 2007.
So how long, Mark?
Mark's been there way before that.
I came on there a little bit before you. I showed up 2004.
2004.
I've been with Strike King, and it really has been a family effort amongst all of us.
It has. Yeah.
Mark and I, we've had some good times. We filmed some good shows when people were out deer hunting, and I know Mark knows what I'm talking about.
Well,
we've had some adventures together.
That was when you were using those Brownie cameras and reel to reel. You know,
it's pretty close.
It's and I want to ask you that before we let you go. And Ron, I want you to ask. I know you got something up your sleeve over there, but I got to ask you, 1997 to 2020, there's been a lot of changes in this industry. Talk about that from your perspective, is, you know, when you started and where we are. Social media, it's going to be out of sight on this tournament. We're going to be able to sit there in our living room and watch these events as we're catching them. So talk about that, the coverage of this and things.
You know, when I started, Larry, my first season was the 91-92 season. And at that point, we were still waiting on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. to watch TNN, to watch the Bassmaster.
Yeah.
And Bob Cobb was still doing it.
Oh, my goodness.
And we were still waiting for our monthly issue of Bassmaster to find out how tournaments were won and techniques are being utilized.
And now,
with the media age as such it is, I can come up with a new technique, completely never been seen before, and in 30 minutes on Bassmaster Live, somebody can see me and replicate that exact same technique, even though it's a new deal. Your young man that you just spoke to, Cody Huff, I mean, he has figured out a way to catch fish in an in-between zone that fish are not being targeted in.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
He's 22 years old. So he has figured out a new way to do that. And it's amazing to me, Larry, when these young kids come in, there are so seasoned with all the college experience, with all of the media, with all of the information at their fingertips. They come in a much more seasoned angler than I did when I started at 26 on the Bassmaster Tournament Trail.
Yeah.
So the talent level, the talent pool has risen.
Yes.
But yet it still takes a few old tricks. Old Dog's got a few tricks. I got a bunch of discontinued old baits that I've had for years that have paid off for me. So experience is what we're dealing with. But it has changed.
Hey, Mark,
the numbers are really, really great on what's being seen.
Talking about experience, how many loose rods and reels you going to have on your deck of your boat when you blast off?
Well, I just made a modification so my Skeeter boat will hold about 40 in the rod box now. But, Ron, I'll be honest with you, if you see me with 10 or 15 loose rods and reels on it, you better worry. You better worry if you see me out there with that many. If you see me with 3 laying up there, you better watch close.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
that's what you want to see, is me with about three to four rods on the deck, because you know I've zeroed in on everything I need to.
All right, buddy.
I like it like that.
All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate you being on this special show, as you always are, just about. Go down there and get them, show them whippersnappers what it's all about, okay?
Well, I certainly will, Larry. And I want to mention one more thing, Larry. I'm working a new partnership with Yamaha and Right Waters. Right Waters is the conservancy group for Yamaha. I will be fighting for every fisherman that has a fishing license to fight the Asian carp problem in Washington, D.C.
You're the man.
To fight it on the Tennessee River. So I have partnered with Yamaha. My truck is wrapped with Right Waters. My boat will have the Right Waters insignias on it, and that is for every fisherman that has a fishing license. I want them to know that I'm there fighting for their rights as fishermen and getting this Asian carp problem corrected.
Hey, man, Ron Wong will be there. There's an interview right there, Ron. Okay?
Yep. I will see you there, Mark.
Okay. I'll be there. I don't want to see you at the expo, though.
No,
I'm going to see him at Media Day.
I've worked too many expos. I've worked too many expos in my life. I'm going to take the day off, and I'm going to really rock and roll.
Go, buddy. We'll talk to you. Thank you, Mark Menendez. Okay, good luck. All right.
See you guys soon.
All right, soon. All right, let's take a break. Come right back. Keep this thing rolling with, speaking of rolling, with Bill Lowen coming up on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
The turtle.
The turtle. Even his email's got the turtle in it, okay? We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 in Memphis here, and all you folks in Brownsville and Jackson, throughout the Mid-South, you truck drivers driving out down I-55 to Sardis or Grenada or Arca-Butler, where it might be. This is the show for you fishermen out there, you bass fishermen. This is our annual Bassmaster Classic preview, and this being the special year for the Classic, the 50th anniversary. That's just hard to believe. When they were up at Bull Shows and Bill Dance and Forrest Wood and all the clan was up there, so to speak, and now we're 50 years later, and we're at Guntersville, where a lot of fish are going to be caught, and so right after Mark Menendez, who predicted that he would win.
Yeah.
He's only going to have 40 lose. No, we don't know that. But how about you introduce this next guest, Ron, because you're excited, and I am too about talking to this guy.
Well, I got to tell you, this gentleman and one heck of a fisherman, shallow water fisherman, that's his forte, and there's going to be a lot of shallow water at Guntersville, and he's going to be running an express boat with a 250 Yamaha on it, with a front deck loaded with blues, rods, and reels.
Yes.
None other than Bill Lowen.
Good morning, Bill. How you doing?
Morning, guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. He almost left when he found out Wong and Copley were in the studio, so I was getting kind of nervous. But, no, it's good to have Ron and Mark Copley of Lose and Strike King now, but good to talk to you, Bill. I know the Classic is no stranger to do. If I'm not for you, if I'm not mistaken, this is number 10. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It sure is.
10 times, and one of the things that I've been told about you is that you're Mr. Consistency. 147 tournaments, in the money 104 times. That would win you the batting title in a lot of baseball leagues.
Right.
So, that's better than a 300 average, because if you've got a 300 average, you fail 700% of the time.
That's right.
That's right. And I knew we'd get into baseball talk here. So this guy doesn't fail too many times. And we've talked to we're getting this thing wrapped up. Bill, talk about from your perspective, Guntersville, what it means for you, being in number 50 here, being in your 10th. And at the same time, knowing that you're one of those veterans now, and these young whippersnappers are coming in there. Talk about the excitement about going to Guntersville.
Well, I think any time that you qualify for the Bassmaster Classic, it's exciting times. But with this being the 50th anniversary,
yes,
and how big that's going to be, I set my goals every year to make the Classic, and especially this year. Being that 50th anniversary, I did not want to miss out on that. Because I'm just like so many other fishermen out there that, years and years ago, my dream was to, I think my first dream was to fish the Bassmaster Classic and not necessarily fish professionally.
Yeah.
But always having that dream of fishing the Bassmaster Classic. So to have the opportunity, with this being my 10th time, but not only that, being the 50th anniversary, you can't put into words how exciting it is, you know.
All right, and I know, Ron, you and I have both been to the Classic. You've been to a lot of times, coming to Guntersville and knowing Bill's strength. You just talked about that earlier.
How does that set up for you, Bill?
Yeah, how does that set up for you, Bill?
How does Guntersville set up for you? Lots of grass, lots of deep water, too.
Guntersville is exactly what you're saying. Lots of shallow water, lots of shallow grass, lots of opportunities for me to be able to fish the way that I fish. Typically for me, you talked earlier about how consistent I always am, with being in the money and all that. And, I've always prided myself on catching 5 and being consistent and so on and so forth. But I'm going to attack this one a little different. This is probably going to be the first Classic for me that I'm not going to fish to catch just 5 to have a limit. You know what I mean? This is going to be that's Classic for me that I fish for the biggest bites that I can get, and it's either going to be really good or I'll be in there working on the show on Sunday, which I don't want to do that. But
Mark doesn't want you there neither.
Don't want to see. I do not want to see you.
Have you already talked to Menendez before you came on the air? I mean, you guys are doing the same thing here. I mean, that's just exactly.
I love these guys. Yeah. I don't want to see them on Sunday.
No, you don't want to see them in the expo, right? So,
right.
Again, we're talking to Bill Owen, going for number 10 at the Classic, and talking about your setup, Ron. You know that it sets up differently for different anglers. So, what do you see, Bill, as far as he goes into this?
I think personally, I think that Guntersville sets up very well for Bill because of the way he fishes. I think he's one of the finest shallow water fishermen there is anywhere.
Yes.
And so I think he'll do well. And then Bill's support system, his 2 kids and his wife, they're going to be right there with him every morning watching him blast off. They'll be there to weigh in, and as soon as he weighs in, those 2 kids are going to be in his arms.
Well, one of them's named Fisher. I mean, what else could you think from somebody like that,
But, it takes a good support system, not only a family, but your sponsors also, doesn't it, Bill?
Oh, absolutely. You know what? There's no way that you could do it with either one of those. You know what I mean? If you didn't have the support on your family side or on the sponsorship side, and I hate to say sponsorships because I look at them as partnerships or almost as family. Yeah. I have the relationship with like 99.9% of my sponsors that it's like a family. You know, and you just touched on. My family, I'm fortunate enough they can travel all over the country with me. My kids are homeschooled, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I could do it without them being with me. And you know what? When I have a bad day on the water and I come in there to weigh in, like you said, the kids are waiting there to get in Dad's arms, and they don't care if Dad caught 25 pounds or 5 pounds.
Well, I know we get to this, and I got to ask you this. We've asked Menendez, we asked Cody Huff before you. What's it going to take to win this thing?
I think.
Give me that winning weight. Pardon? What's it going to take to win this thing? What weight?
I'm thinking it's going to be 20, 40, 65. Going to be around 70 pounds.
You and Menendez are right. Is he in the car with you right now? Is he in the truck with you?
He is not.
Okay, I want to make sure because that's exactly just about, what did he say, 60 to 70,
So would you take 25 pounds a day right here and just call it even?
I absolutely would do that.
I figured you would.
He wouldn't be in the expo on Sunday, okay?
No, he would not be.
Not at all.
We'll talk about, and let me ask you a technical question, Bill, because I'm the untechnical guy here. The turtle thing. Tell me what is this? What's this all about turtles?
I knew that was coming.
Come on, man. I love turtles.
I honestly have no idea how I kind of got that nickname.
Come on.
One of my really good friends back in the day give me that nickname.
Yeah.
Because we'd be going fishing or hunting or doing whatever, and I would always be late. But it wasn't because of me. It was always because I was waiting on my other buddies that were going.
Oh, they're saying you're slow? Are you trying to tell me that?
Just remember, slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
So I'd show up, and my buddy's like, you know what? You're the turtle, man. You're always late.
I love it.
That's how I truly got the nickname. My wife says I got the turtle nickname because I'm always sticking my neck out for people.
Now that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I heard. But
how many loose rods and reels are you going to have laid out on your boat?
Inventory stuff.
Day one blast off.
Day one blast off. I'm hoping to have about 3.
There you go.
But
what is
it?
You believe
going to have about 25 in it.
Okay. Well,
look and listen to this.
Menendez said 3. He said 3.
But think about it. If they've got 3, they're dialed in.
They are dialed in.
Yeah.
And look, I never have 3 rods laying up there. So if you ever see me with 3 rods laying up there, you should be like, we should probably follow him.
Bet the house on it.
Because typically for me, I got 15 or 20 laying up there, and my goal at the end of the day is to catch 1 bass on each rod,
right?
And that's a pretty good day.
That's a great day. Yeah.
Like I said, I am not fishing this classic to do that. I'm going to fish my style.
Good for you.
Been working on a brand new rod with the guys at Lew's to hopefully make a big showing here at the Classic with. And
okay,
prototype.
My lips are sealed.
It's going to be interesting. This Classic is going to be kind of off, or I don't want to say off, but it's going to be different just because of the weather we've had and the rains. The fluctuating water levels, and it looks like they're calling for big rains towards next week.
Yes, they are. Monday,
so
Tuesday.
It's going to be interesting, But I honestly think that you're going to see some giant bags, and I think you're going to see the Classic get one on maybe the first day, second day, last day, whichever, by one big bite. You know what I mean? That one big fish that puts you over the top. I think we're going to see that happen.
Well,
potentially in this Classic.
Obviously, you have not been to Wong's house because he's got all of your rods and reels on his kitchen table right now. I think But
hey, Bill, tell our listeners, because a lot of people are getting into aluminum boats now.
Yeah,
and you run that Express aluminum. Tell our listeners a little bit about your thoughts on that boat.
Well, here's my thoughts with the Express boat. The Express boat to me in the aluminum category is in a class all to itself because that boat has a padded hull under it, just like a fiberglass boat. It has a hyperlift hull, which is comparable to the hull on a fiberglass boat. So with that being said, what that means is if I put you in that boat or my boat, my Express, and take you for a boat ride, you would be hard pressed to tell any difference between a glass boat and an aluminum boat because of that hull. Most of the aluminum boats in the industry have a traditional semi-V flat bottom hull on them. That everybody is accustomed to, and everybody's accustomed to knows that that's a rough riding boat. But that's not what you get with this hyperlift hull. You get the performance of the glass boat, but it's in aluminum. And for a guy like me that fishes shallow all the time, and I don't have to worry anymore about am I going to tear the bottom of my boat up. Used to be I'd go as far as I could go in a glass boat, but now it's just, I go as far as I used to be able to go, and even further now.
And you don't get the water slap on this boat either.
It's like I said, if I put you in it and blindfolded you, I would bet you everything I own you could not tell the difference between the performance of the boat.
And that's awesome, and that gets more people into fishing. With
and you put them into an affordability.
Right, well, we got to get out of here. He's done his allotment. He's picked the same thing. He and Menendez are riding in the truck together. They're talking about the same stuff.
Talking about me.
Yeah, they're talking about Copley, that's for sure. Bill, we don't believe in luck, buddy. We hope that you go down there and you have a great tournament, and we hope to maybe talk to you after the tournament after you've hosted that big old trophy, okay?
Well, guys, I appreciate everything, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
Thank you, buddy.
I will see you there, Bill.
Ron Wong will be there, Bill. All right, he'll be wearing his fourth pair of tennis shoes. We'll be on. All right, thank you. Let's take a break. Be right back. We're going to continue this with Matt Airy coming up on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this special once-a-year show that my good buddy over there, the Mid-South Fishing Guru, Ron Wong, gets on that phone of his, which he's on. He's probably got 3 of them, and helps to line up these guests on the show, and it just rolls off. And we're just happy to have the next guest. Matt Airy is on with us this morning, and good morning, Matt.
Mr. North Carolina.
Mr. North Carolina, Matt. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, guys.
Morning, Matt.
I know you're already there, and Copley's already said there, and you're already at Gunnersville. But we want to really talk about, as we've talked with Menendez and Lowen and and Cody Huff earlier in the show. This is your first, right?
It is. Yep, my first classic.
So talk about that from the experience. I know you turned pro in I think 2007. I read. You got the North Carolina angler to you there with your first year on the Elite Series in 2019. So talk about, man, that's pretty good to jump in this classic. What's it feel like for you?
Well, if you'd have told me, in the fall of, I guess it's 2018,
yes,
that I might be fishing the classic in 2020, I'd have looked at you and said you're crazy. I spent most of my career at FLW, and honestly, I was. Fortunate enough to be one of the ones over there was making a decent living and enjoyed everybody over there. People were great. The organization was great. But, the Elite Series was, let's just put it this way. Growing up as a kid, I watched Bassmaster television with Bob Cobb on TNT Outdoors.
You're the second one that said that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that right there is kind of what instilled the passion and the dream for making a career out of professional bass fishing. And the classic is always, it was one of those things that I actually questioned, not because I didn't want to, obviously, but that if I stayed at FLW, I would never have the chance to fulfill that dream. And it truly is an honor. It's a little bit surreal.
Yeah.
I think if I was a rookie, quote rookie, it'd be a little different. I am a classic rookie, but I've got, about 12 years full-time under my belt. And it's, but I'm as excited as I was as the first morning of my first pro tournament. I really am. And the classic is the biggest stage in bass fishing. And, just to have an opportunity to go, not just walk across that stage because, I want to win. I mean, that's
okay.
what the classic's all about. It's like what the Cup's all about when I was over at FLW. And,
yes,
I want to go down there with one thing on my mind, and that's winning the classic.
Hey, Matt, talking about winning the classic, how does Gunnersville set up for your style of fishing?
It's funny because I've never really had a strength, so to speak. When I started my career, and I talked to Wesley Strader about this early in my career, and the guy that I would rather have been the guy that made the championship every year as a guy that wins a tournament every other year but doesn't make championships, if that makes any sense. And I've always tried to pride myself in being as extremely versatile and willing to change on the fly as I can be, and I love to pattern fish. The good thing about this time of year in Lake Gunnersville, really any lake in the southeast this time of year, minus Florida, it's a little different, but they set up as great pattern fisheries, and especially the pre-spawn when there can be the most predictable, and you can truly run a pattern throughout the lake. That's the majority of the money I've made in my career, and a couple wins that I had at FLW. And some of my best finishes were all in March and April, and a lot of pre-spawn tournaments. Yeah. Some spawn tournaments, but some pre-spawn. It's a time of year I'm very comfortable in, and Gunnersville is a lake that I love. I mean, it's got some giant bass in it, which who doesn't love that? But it's a lake that offers a lot of variety. It's got a lot of diversity, a lot of different types of grass. Grass isn't really my strength, but it's got a lot of other types of cover. It's got hard cover, it's got rocks, got docks, it's got a lot of current. It's got backwaters. It's got plenty of creeks. It's got dirty water. I was going to say it's got clear water. Typically, I don't know how much clear water is out here, but hopefully it's got a little bit of everything to offer this week, and it's going to be an interesting tournament, that's for sure.
We're talking to Matt Airy about the Bassmaster Classics coming up in Gunnersville very, very soon. I mean, we're looking at this thing, and Ron Wong will be there representing Outdoors with Larry Ray. Of course, Mark Copley will be at the
He'll
expo.
Be working.
He'll be working there, and I've looked at this, Matt, and checked on some of these things. I know FLW a long time, and I looked at this thing, and I was telling the guys on the air that 4 of our 5 guys on this show have all won over $1 million in BASS. And I look at Matt Arey, and I see 124,500, and I said,
1 year.
1 year. Let's talk about 11 times in the money in 13 events.
That's awesome.
The consistency that's got to be something that you pride yourself in.
Well, it is, and you know, like we talked about a little bit earlier, I think being versatile, cash and checks. My goal is to make a living in this industry, and
yes,
and you know, cash and checks is the name of the game there, and I've always tried to be that guy that you know, fish. Sometimes I caught myself fishing a little bit too conservatively, but you know, I've tried to change and adapt over the years, and you know, just be as versatile and open-minded as I can. And you know, it's kind of bittersweet because I left FLW with I think it was like $900,000.
Yes, you did.
Yes, career earnings.
Yeah.
And I so wanted to crack that $1 million mark before I left, because those statistics on your bios don't necessarily cross over. And any angler that says, "Oh, that don't matter," they're lying. Because it's something cool to add to your credentials, you know. But anyway, you look at it, I'm happy to be over here, man. I'm stoked about this class.
You're stoked. I can tell that. And we don't have time for a commercial when you're on. I mean, you're
I'm gonna tell you, if you're not stoked for the Bassmaster Classic, you need a pulse, because
unstokable.
It is one of the most exciting times, and we've been to Birmingham before.
Yes,
the Fish Gunnersville that same time.
Yeah,
and over 210,000 people came through the expo.
Amazing. Yeah,
it's a great setup there because the expo is right next to the arena where they're going to be weighing in, so they can stay in the expo right up until it's time to go over and get a seat.
Well, I loved it in Knoxville. Right. You know, it was great in Knoxville.
It was great in Knoxville.
So now Birmingham, and so we're asking everybody, Matt, as you guys, a prediction. Now we want to see if you've been talking to Menendez and Lowen and have the same thing, because I think they were in the same truck together. But what's it going to take to win this thing?
Well, you know, I think kind of we touched on a little earlier. It's going to revolve strictly around conditions. We're going to have a warming trend later this week.
Yes,
and then it's going to get, and then it looks like it might get cold again during the actual tournament days. So, you know, the fact remains that Gunnersville is full of giant fish.
Yep.
You know, the ABA this past weekend, it doesn't look like there was a lot of numbers of fish caught, but there were some giant.
There
fish
were some big ones. Yeah.
Took over 30 pounds to win. So, you know, this is the best of the best. These guys are going to catch them. I don't care how bad the conditions are or how good the conditions are. They're going to catch them.
Well, give us a number.
You know, let's just go with 70 pounds.
Oh,
I'm going to go with 70 pounds.
That's fine.
And
I got my pick later.
Okay. Yeah.
What is that? That's 23 a day, right?
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Copley said. If you catch 25 a day, you'll take that, right? So.
I would take 25 a day, yes, sir.
Okay, but all you guys have said they've been saying 65 to 70.
Yeah.
So we're coming in that. It's amazing how you guys. I know you studied the lake and things along that line, but 70 pounds. It just sounds like Gunnersville to me.
That's right. Hey, Matt, how many lose outfits are you going to have?
Here he goes again. He's keeping track.
Front deck when you blast off.
Hey, Matt, just make sure you keep them strapped down, because Ron's actually coming by and trying to take them off his deck.
Yeah, he's going to be at the clearance sale. Okay, all right.
You got it. Hey, you know what's funny is I was sitting in the shop rigging up a few last rods. And, and I'm using a lot of the titanium reels, which are awesome. I use basically those in Hypermax.
Yeah, that.
I called Thrift. I was talking to Thrift. He was on his way back from Okeechobee, and I was talking to Brian, and I said, you know what, dude? I said, I might actually have more rods in my boat during practice than you have in your boat on a regular basis. And that's if y'all know anything about Thrift, that's a feat in itself.
It is.
Yes, it is.
He said, come on, how many you got, Matt? How many you got? And I said, well, hold on a second, let me count. I said, and I got to count, and I've got 29 rods actually rigged and ready. I've got 25 in my rod box. I've got 4 more right here in the truck that I'm going to have in my co-passenger's rod box. And,
really?
And he said, that ain't. He said that ain't nothing. I said, what, are you kidding me? He said, no, man. He said he takes. So we both run Rangers. He takes the back end of his rod box out just so he can put 35 to 40 combos in his rod box.
You got to be serious.
That is the honest truth. And
and I guarantee you, each one of Thrift's combos has a different bait on it too.
Every one.
I'll guarantee it. Guaranteed. Yeah, 100%.
Well, it's just pretty amazing here. Again, Matt, we don't be in luck. We'll hope that you go down there and just have a great tournament. And you don't have to see Copley on Sunday unless he's running down the aisle with his camera with him.
Unless you need a rod or a reel brought out too, you won't see me.
I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to see that. And before we let you go, and Ron, I know you've talked about this. That first day is important. How much importance do you put in that first day?
Oh, in a 3-day event like the Classic, and I've seen this happen a lot.
Yes.
In championship events, your first day, especially when they used to be in the late summer, it applied a little bit more then.
But
when
now,
a big first. But now this time of year, I always said you can't win it on the first day, but you can lose it. But the thing about March and Lake Gunnersville, it's almost like the St. Johns River, where we were. I don't know that you can lose it on the first. I mean, unless you zero or really, really crash and burn, I really don't know that you can, because the 35-pound bag is very, very very possible.
Absolutely, it is.
At a lake like Gunnersville. So, if you catch 12 pounds the first day, you're definitely not out of it, and you could come out the next day slinging and bring in 30-plus and be right back where you need to be going into Championship Sunday.
Well, buddy, we hope you're right there where it is on Championship Sunday. Ron Wong will be there.
I will see you Thursday at Media Day.
Yeah, be ready,
and
Matt.
Talking to you.
He's fired up, Matt. Yes,
sir.
Strap your rods down.
Yeah, and see Mark Copley down there.
You got it.
Hey, I appreciate you taking time to be with me on the show when they stayed in here. Okay, I thought I might have to shoo them out of here and everything. You go get them, Turtle Man. Okay, all right.
Guys, I appreciate it a bunch.
Now I got to ask you one other thing here. Because Turtle Man was on before you, Bill.
Yep.
Now you got absolute fishing. Yeah, you got absolute fishing. I love your email address because there ain't nothing better than absolute fishing. I think of that.
Amen.
That's you. Go get them, all right, buddy. Thank you, Matt. I'll talk to you.
Talk soon, Matt.
All right. Okay.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. I don't know how many times I've said that over 19 years, but it just comes out automatically. I wake up in the morning sometimes and says, hey, good morning, Outdoors with Larry Ray here.
You said it at least twice.
Twice? Yeah, twice at least. Yeah. 19 years, and this is one of my favorite shows, if you can't tell. I've really been down with allergies and all sorts of things. Had a death in my family, but I get excited on this show, primarily because I know how much work Ron Wong does to put this thing together, and then I have to coordinate it, and then I have to bring Copley in to interpret what Wong says.
That's no easy feat either.
No easy feat. Then I've got to talk to these guys and ask them the untechnical questions. But I'm happy to.
We're making it easy.
I love this next guy. He is the cruise missile. That's what he says, and that's what we got here. John Cruz out of Virginia. Good morning, John. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. How are you?
We are fired up. 11. This will be your 12th Classic appearance.
That's right.
That's pretty remarkable. You beat out Menendez. You beat out the other guys 12 times at the Classic. Let's talk a little bit about what the Classic means to you and what it means to be in that 50th Classic.
It is special for so many reasons. You kind of hit on a couple of them right there. I've always said that you can't win the Classic unless you're in the Classic.
That's right. Yeah.
Step one is just to even be in the Classic, but then step two, to be able to be part of bass fishing history and to be able to be fishing the 50th Bassmaster Classic is unbelievable. I've been fortunate to meet so many of the legends and become friends with so many of them that it is just amazing. And then to be part of the 50th, I can tell you there is nothing harder I'm going to try for than to win that 50th one here coming up.
And Ron,
you've come close, John, and right now I would say you're on a hot streak. You just came off of a tournament where you did very, very well and was in position to win it. How does Guntersville set up for you?
I like Guntersville a lot. I have fished it a number of times. I have fished it in the spring, this same time of year that we're fishing right now, and I think that's going to help me just because I'm weird to say, but I'm older than most of the guys I'm fishing against now, and just more experienced and I've been seeing it there and done that. I think that's gonna help. And then as you kind of alluded to, coming off a second place finish on the St. John's to open up the Bassmaster Elite Series season was definitely great. I felt like I was fishing good, making good decisions, and I think that's going to be the key, is just to keep making good decisions and good adjustments during the week that we're going to have here in Birmingham.
And I know that 12 times. I have a friend that he tried 12 times to win the World Championship of duck calling. He won it on his 13th. So I'm just telling you, that's the great Buck Gardner, the world's famous duck caller. So he had that never give up attitude. And so when you go into this one, yes, you have the experience. Yes, there's a lot of whippersnappers there. But how do you the fire is still there, right, John?
100%. 100% it is. I tell you, the Classic is different than any other tournament for a number of reasons. One, you don't get the quite the level of media coverage at this event that you do at any other event during the year. So
that's right.
That
yes.
is one thing that's different. Two, you have a practice period, like you have 3 days, then you have 2 off days, then you have a kind of half a practice day, then you have another off day, and then you start the tournament. So you really have to know how to practice for how lakes are going to fish in the future, and then you have to adjust once those conditions are different, because they're going to be.
Well, again, we're talking to John Cruz on Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk about the 50th anniversary of the Bassmaster Classic coming up on Lake Guntersville. And I know John, as we said, has been there several times. At the same time, he's also one of those guys that looks at consistency, and we talked about that. And we've asked every one of the guys before you, what's it going to take to win this thing? So let's ask John Cruz. What's it going to take to win this tournament?
I really think it's going to take over 70 pounds to win.
70 is a magic word. I'm telling you. All of them say this.
That's going to be a mark to get to. However you can get there. Now, whether that means, a 30-pound stringer and then, a couple other, 20-pound stringers, or, 23.5-pound stringers, or however that's constructed.
Yes.
I feel like that's the magic number to get to, and that it rolls off the tongue real easy, but I promise you it's going to be hard as hell to actually do it.
Oh, no doubt about it.
But we know that this lake can turn these kind of numbers out because we see it time in and time out, and
big fish.
It's probably in the best shape of any of the lakes on the Tennessee River right now. So, John, talk a little bit about you, a 12-time qualifier. I don't think people understand just how hard it is to qualify for the Classic.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, you're fishing against the strongest competition tournament field that there is, and over the course of my career, there's been guys that have come and gone from that field. Every year it's a little comprised of a little bit different fields that you have to qualify against, and but the level of competition never wavers. It definitely stays very high, and it just it's interesting too, because the guys, man, in this tournament, the guys in the Classic and the guys you fish against, it is such a neat, eclectic group of individuals that all have the same common passion of going out and trying to catch the 5 biggest bass that you can catch. It's a really neat deal.
And also the times have changed in these 12 Classics, and Ron will verify it's become a rock concert-like thing. You know, I mean, when you first walked across that one so many years ago, I don't want to age you, but at the same time, and what happens now, it's really social media. We've talked about that. Wong is really into social media. He's a social person. He loves the media. So I told that to everybody.
And he loves to eat.
Yeah, and he likes to eat. But at the same time, he's a great interviewer. He knows the sport. Talk about that, the difference from that first time you were on the stage and how it is now.
Sure. The very first classic that I fished was on the Three Rivers up in Pittsburgh.
Yep. Oh my!
And that was kind of an eye opener to go into.
Yeah, took 17 pounds to win.
17 pounds to win?
No, it took less than that.
No, it was
12.
12 pounds.
Right around 12 pounds.
KVD won it. 12 pounds.
Amazing.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's right. So I was, and it was interesting just to. A lot of the guys were fishing a lot of the same water.
Yeah.
It's not like guys ran an hour and a half to go find some crazy hole.
Yeah.
Van Ness just caught them better than the other guys, and then but as far as that goes, dude, the weigh-ins were absolutely packed. And they've been packed every weigh-in since then. Yes. I mean, it is amazing. It is truly the Super Bowl of bass fishing, not only for the anglers, but also for it's more of the mecca, if you will, for bass anglers.
Absolutely.
It's the biggest consumer show there is.
Yep.
And people that don't come to that expo, man, they are missing it.
Now you're going to have a booth there, aren't you? But you're not going to be in it.
Right. Yeah. The missile baits is definitely. We're going to have a booth. We're going to be releasing a new bait there. It's called the Quiver.
Okay.
It's something that I kind of basically came out of necessity. I was looking for a bait to fill a niche for me. I couldn't find what I was looking for on the market.
Quiver.
I was
all right.
Looking for a bait to fish on a Neko.
Yeah.
Yeah, fishing on a Neko rig and fishing on a Tokyo rig.
Mm-hmm.
Those two rigs have been very hot. I've caught a lot of fish on them in the last year or two, especially, and so I just ended up designing a bait, two different sizes, just for that.
Quiver. It's called the Quiver.
And guys, let me tell
That's
you,
right.
Yeah,
John and I, we may be competitors in this industry, but the cool thing about this industry, we're good friends.
Yes. Yeah.
John is one. They do it the right way.
Well, I think
they're a class act, and
well,
I have nothing but respect for John.
Well, I've told everybody, John, if I ever believed in coming back, I would want to come back and be the guy that names the fishing lures and the colors. Okay, that's just
he wants to do one lure.
Will somebody let me do that? I want a lure named after me. I don't know what.
Not after you. You just want to put a name.
I want to put a name on there in the color.
I hear it.
Yeah,
I appreciate those nice words there, Mark. But Strike King, they, in my opinion, they do things the right way as well. They got and not only you, but a number of really good people over there that I call friends, and it's more of the same camaraderie we have on the water with the anglers as I feel like we do with the majority of the fishing industry, because we get together, we see each other.
Yeah.
Not only we don't see each other as competitors. We visit with one another at all these shows that we have to work all over the country, and you just develop these friendships, and that part of it is really, really fun. It's the same thing with the anglers. You become friends with a number of the anglers, and you compete against them, but at the same time they become your road family.
But you still want to beat their brains out. Now, come on now, you want to win this thing, right, John?
Not everybody is going to be your friend. You do want to see, if you can do well and they can do well, then it makes it. It
makes it wild. John Cruz, thank you for being on Outdoors of Larry Ray. Like I say, Ron Wong will be our meals on wheels down there, so to speak.
I'm hoping he delivers to the booth.
He will deliver.
Hey, John, we will see you Thursday. I'm going to have Samantha go. She told me to tell you hi. We're going to be there at your boat talking to you on Media Day.
That sounds like a plan. I look forward to seeing y'all, and I appreciate the call and appreciate being on the show. Very much enjoy it.
And we're going to be talking to you again, buddy.
Yeah, we got your number now, John. You can't hide from us. Okay, all right.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, John. Have a good one. All right, guys.
Yes,
let's take a break. Come right back. We got one guy going, and then we'll probably close out the show with somebody a lot better looking than the other guys. All right, we're going to come back with that one for sure. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Well, what am I saying? No.
I love it. Go ahead. We're doing
Good
this.
Saturday morning
Good
to
Saturday morning. Okay, keep going.
With Larry Ray.
That's right, with Larry Ray. And what
I'm
else?
learning.
You're learning.
I got a face for radio. So.
Okay, well, go ahead. Who's next? Who's next?
Well, this is the show of all shows, you know.
It is the show of all shows.
We're getting ready to talk about the deal.
All right, so this next guy's coming up.
So
go
if we're going to talk about the deal.
All right, so who is this guy coming up now then?
We're going to have the deal talk to us.
We are. And what's his name?
His name is Money Combs.
Money Combs.
Keith Combs, the Strike King Pro.
That's our best introduction we've ever had, Keith Combs. We will definitely make sure you get a copy of that. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Can you
you're having a time.
Yeah, we are. Can you follow Copley now? I mean, I was. What are we doing here? How we do this?
He had to follow me a couple of weeks ago, so.
He's followed you along. Hey, buddy, we appreciate you being here. Wong is over there writing everything down that you say.
That's right.
So he can remember it and everything like that. Ron Wong, as we close out this special edition of Outdoors with Larry Ray, we met our good friend Mark Copley from Lose and Strike King. Put him on the spot there, and he did really good. We might work on him a little bit on his delivery.
It was a little rough.
No, it was good. No, people will remember it. They won't remember anything I say, but they'll remember that. Keith, first of all, thank you for being part of this show that we look forward to every year. And I know, buddy, this is classic number 8, if I'm correct. And
right.
We've talked to all the guys about what it means to be not only in the classic, but be at Guntersville. So what does it mean to Keith Combs to go to Guntersville for this 50th anniversary classic?
Well, I mean, number 50 is a big one. I mean, just making the classic is something that we strive for. But, I mean, every bass fisherman walks across or dreams about walking across the stage with, a big bag of fish. And Guntersville's a place you can do that at. So that's what's most exciting for me. I want to fish the classic. I don't care if it's Red River or Hartwell, but there a 20-pound bag is great. In Guntersville, a 30-pound bag is great. So
there we go.
I get pretty excited.
Yeah. And Ron, you've asked every one of these guys, so put that question to them again.
How many rods and reels are you
No.
going to have?
How does it set up for? We'll get back to that one.
Well, I was going to ask that.
Yeah,
one.
keep your rod strapped down, Keith. He's going to try to steal it.
Ron is counting
but
rods.
how does Guntersville set up for Keith Combs?
Yeah, there you go.
It's right up my alley. I think.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lake that I really like going to. It reminds me a lot of Rayburn and Toledo.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just got it is Rayburn without like the bridges.
Yeah,
we got
right.
some
Good.
Yeah.
We
got some ledges and stuff on Rayburn. We don't fish bridges like they do. But other than that, it is just a carbon copy of home. So I really like it.
And as Ron has been counting rods and reels, we want to, the record right now is 2,000 rods that Brian Thrift is taking, but.
No, not Brian Thrift.
Who's that?
Matt Airy.
No, but he said Brian is going to carry a bunch of them, too, down there,
No, Brian's not fishing.
Well, who's the other guy? Who's he talking about? He says he always
was.
He was. Brian Thrift's just been known to carry a bunch of rods.
Okay, I'm comparing him to Brian Thrift.
Yeah.
I may have to take over the show and get us back on track.
Yeah, really.
Ron can get us back on track. Ask him, Ron.
No, how many rods and reels are going to be on your deck when you blast off Friday morning?
Just two.
Just two.
Just two.
Why just two?
I mean, I think the tournament's going to be won on a crankbait or a thunder cricket, so that's all I'm going to have laid out.
And let me tell you something, guys, about Keith. Keith is one of those. A lot of people think they know how he fishes, but he is one of the most consistent, one of the most, as far as can fish any kind of technique. When they were at the AOI up at Mille Lacs a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
that's right.
Everybody's out there catching them on a drop shot.
Yep.
Keith's throwing a big jig with a rage crawl on the back of it and whacking them up there. So he's not afraid to try something different. And when he gets zeroed in, I'm gonna tell you, he's dangerous.
How about 80 times in the money in 99 tournaments?
Wow.
That's better than a 300 average.
That's a heck of a batting average.
Yeah. So talk about consistency, Keith, because I know that you've been on this show several times before the Classic. Always one of our favorite guys to come on. The prediction. We've asked them all, and I think all of y'all ride in the same pickup truck. So what's it going to take?
It's going to take a record weight this time. I believe there's no way that I don't think there's any way it won't fall. I'm surprised it didn't fall last time we were at Guntersville, but I'm going to say it mid-70s to win this time.
Yeah. All right. So
he's in the ballpark.
He's in the ballpark,
Absolutely.
Isn't he? Copley thinks it might even hit 80. He's been talking about the full moon and all these.
Would it surprise you if it did hit 80, Keith?
It would, and not knocking Guntersville one bit, but just the variables of the Classic. It just seems like there's, even if everything sets up perfect, there's just so many variables in that particular tournament. To go out and get it done every single day is going to be tough. And I think the guy who wins it with the 70-plus pound bag is going to have one of those days where he catches 32 or 33 pounds.
And as someone was saying on there earlier that you could have a bad first day and still win it. Is that your feeling too? You don't want to have a bad day, but
I don't think you can this year. I think last time we were at Guntersville, it was fishing a little bit tougher, but I've been keeping up with the local tournament weights and stuff, and it's fishing good.
Okay.
Weight-wise.
Yeah.
There was last time we were there for the Classic, Paul Mueller had a 4-fish day the first day, and they backed it up with like 32 pounds. But and he almost won. I mean, he almost got it done. I think he was a pound shy. But this year, no, I don't think. I mean, I think a guy has got to put himself near 20 every day and have one of those days where he catches low 30s, and he's going to be the guy to beat.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you being with us, Keith. Again, Ron will be down there. Look for Ron.
I will be there, Keith, and I will see you Thursday there. Wishing you well, my friend.
And Mark does not want to see you.
I don't want to see you at all.
He don't want to see you at all, okay? All right. So
I want to see the Thunder Cricket win.
I want to see that.
I would take a win on a cricket.
All right. Thank you, Keith Combs. Go get him, buddy, okay?
All right, guys.
Thank you. All right. Keith Combs out of Huntington, Texas. And,
so you see why he's called Money Combs.
I see why he's called Money
He's always
Combs.
in the money.
Boy, you think about that. That's pretty amazing.
All right, let's go right now. All right, now we're going to try. We're getting Samantha Gay coming on the phone.
Well, we're going to get her prediction too.
Yeah, but we're going to get ours right now.
All right, I'm ready.
Who's your
Go
winner?
ahead.
Who's your winner?
Keith Combs.
Golly, come on now. Let me start over here. Who's my winner?
No, you asked. I said.
Keith Combs. How much? All right.
71 pounds, 7 ounces.
71 pounds and 7 ounces for Ron. For Keith Combs, 71.7. How about you, Mark Copley?
72.5 pounds.
By who?
I'm going to go out on a limb, Paul Mueller.
Paul Mueller.
Wow, that's a good one.
Give it to me again. How many? 70 what?
72.5.
72.5, and that goes
came
to
back
Mark
2
Copley.
years ago.
Okay.
And he is one of my guys.
Yes, he's a lose guy.
Out of Connecticut.
And throwing some strike.
Out of
yes,
Connecticut.
He is.
Is anybody from Connecticut ever won?
He is.
He could be the first.
He actually qualified for the elites through Bass Nation.
Okay. All right.
And
all right. We got Samantha Gay on the line.
Guy.
Samantha,
yeah, we got her.
You got her on? You on there, Samantha?
Sir, I'm here.
Thank the Lord we got some calmness to come back to us.
Okay, Samantha, you're going to be down there. Try to keep Ron Wong under control. We appreciate you doing this for Outdoors with Larry Ray. You going to pick a winner for me? You know which one might win?
I'm sitting here looking. I was sitting here thinking about that before I talked to y'all. I'm pulling for my buddy Seth Fighter.
All right, let me look down at Seth Fighter from
mullet.
Newmarket, Minnesota. What do you think his weight might be? Everybody's going over 70.
Oh, he weighs about $150.
No, I don't know. What do you think it's going to take to win?
Hadn't even thought about it, but let's see. I heard everybody's stuff was in the 70s, right?
That's right. Yep.
76-12.
All right, 76-12 from Samantha Gay. Yeah, golly. Okay. All right. Well, here's.
All right, Larry.
I'm going with the cruise man. Okay, I'm just going to go with it because the cruise missile man, and I'm going to.
That's a good pick.
I'm going to say 73-5. Okay.
And I'll tell you this: if it's not one of my guys winning in it, then I'm not unhappy.
Well, that's the first one
Cruz.
I haven't picked the Strike King guy. So,
that's all right. JC's a good dude.
All right.
Yes, that would definitely. That's a hard choice to choose between him or Seth. Like that.
It is. I like Seth. I appreciate you going to Minnesota guy.
I think I might grow me a mullet.
I don't think we've ever picked somebody from Minnesota or somebody from Connecticut.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Samantha, are you looking forward to the Classic this year?
I can't wait. I'm excited. Looking forward to traveling to a new town, new state, and catching up with everybody.
And we're going to put you to work, you know.
We are going to put you to work.
Just please keep Ron straight.
Yeah, you
know I'm ready.
Yeah, we have a long leash that we want you to tie to his belt, okay? And just walk him around. Just try to stay behind.
That to me.
No, tie that to you. But folks, really, Samantha Gay will be part of our team on LROutdoors.com. She'll be down there with Ron. And Samantha, I just want to thank you on the radio for being there. And helping us put together a great coverage of the event. So thank you.
She'll bring a freshness to the expo.
Well, she sure will that. And,
I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. Just this couple of minutes. So Samantha Gay will be there. Ron Wong will be there. Going to have some video.
Mark Copley's going to be there.
Mark Copley's going to be there. He's
go by the Strike King and Lou's booth.
Come see us at the Strike King Lou's booth. We'll be there.
All right.
All kinds of great stuff to show.
Go to LROutdoors.com. Get the contest. We're going to have a prize package from Lou's and Strike King that the winner will be. All you got to do is pick out the winner, email the name and the total weight to my email address. It's there. It will tell you. And then next week, Ron will be reporting from Birmingham.
Yep.
Let's tease him about what the prize is going to be.
Yeah, what is it going to be?
So here's the deal.
Oh, listen to this, Samantha.
I'm going to sweeten the pot a little bit.
He's sweetening the pot because Samantha's on. You're doing this, okay?
If the Lou's pros win it.
If the Lou's pros win it, okay?
Whatever combo that pro used the most during the tournament, they'll get that rod and reel.
Wow.
Whoa, y'all hearing that out there?
If a Strike King Lou's pro wins it.
Yes.
Whatever combo and whatever baits he used during the week
will be in the package.
Wow.
If a Strike King guy wins it, whatever baits that he used during the week. So you better hope it's not Combs because he's only throwing 2 baits.
Well, that's 2 baits more than what
if it's
all right.
If it's not one of our guys,
well, what?
no. I'm gonna make. They're gonna get something nice.
Well, I hope so. Okay, if it's not one of your guys,
it will be a prize at my picking of what I know to work well on Guntersville Lake.
Okay, that is Mark Copley. Perfect. We have it on the radio. So
thank you, Mark, for everything you do, buddy.
Yeah, let me quickly tell you about next week's show because we do have a show next week. Ron will report from down in Birmingham, but at the same time, hey, we have the world champion archer, Brady Ellison, on Outdoors of Larry Ray. He recently broke 900 straight targets in Las Vegas.
Wow.
He was on NBC News just 2 days ago. He's going to be on Outdoors of Larry Ray next week. So just remember that. We're also going to have the champion, Gary Lester, whose dog won the National Bird Dog Championship. He'll be on next week's show. Full show. Thank you, Mark Copley. Thank you, Ron Wong. Thank you, Samantha Gay, wherever you are out there in the Hitherlands. Okay.
Thank you to all the pros that called in while practicing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Great. And also,
much appreciated.
Doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else? God bless the USA.